This is a 126-page judgment. I asked the Chief Justice whether I should read the entire judgment. He said, please no. And so I'm just reading a few selected passages. All right. On the perception of the capability of drivers on the road, the comedian George Carlin made the humorous observation to the effect, have you ever noticed that anybody driving slower than you is an idiot, and anyone going faster than you is a maniac? Concerns about road safety are often shaped by individual biases without the opinion being founded on any empirical data. It is easy to overlook the full spectrum of factors that contribute to road safety. In this context, the pivotal legal issue that this constitution bench of 5 judges has to decide is whether, under the existing legal framework of the Motor Vehicles Act and the Central Motor Vehicle Rules, a person holding a license for a light motor vehicle class can drive a transport vehicle without a specific endorsement, provided the gross vehicle weight of the vehicle does not exceed 7,500 kgs. Besides road safety, the livelihood concern of a large number of drivers of transport vehicle in India also requires an answer from the bench. In this judgment, let us name our driver Sri, who is a transport vehicle driver. As can be appreciated, Sri spends maximum hours behind the driving wheels and is arguably the most experienced one amongst the Indian drivers, carrying goods and people from destination A to B and so on. It is true that Mukund Diwangan did not analyze the provisions that distinguish transport and non-transport vehicles, as noted in the reference orders. The statutory scheme of MV motor vehicle is more nuanced than the simple weight-based distinction made in the said judgment. Moreover, the court failed to notice section 31(2) and 31(3), which specifies transport and non-transport vehicles. However, the judgment gave due consideration to the important statutory provisions. We have carefully looked at the relevant and the wide-ranging provisions in our analysis in this decision. A harmonious interpretation, as we have explained earlier, would lead us to the same conclusion, but fortified with some additional reasoning based on the consideration of all the relevant provisions. The overlooked provisions would not, in our considered opinion, alter the eventual pronouncement. Importantly, we do not notice any glaring error or omission that would alter the outcome of the case. Road safety is a serious public issue globally. It is crucial to mention that in India, over 1.7 lakh persons were killed in road accidents in 2023. The cause of such accidents are diverse, and the assumption that they stem from drivers operating light transport vehicle with an LMV license are unsubstantiated. Factors contributing to road accidents include careless driving, speeding, poor road design, and failure to adhere to traffic laws. Other significant contributions are mobile phone uses, fatigue, and non-compliance with seatbelt or helmet regulations. Driving a motor vehicle is a complex task requiring both practical skills and theoretical knowledge. Safe driving involves not only technical vehicle control, but also proficiency in various road conditions, including managing speed, turns, spatial awareness relative to other vehicles. Additionally, handling road gradients demands skill, particularly with brakes and maneuvering. Effective driving requires awareness of road signs, adherence to traffic rules, and a focus on the road free from distraction. The core skills expected of all drivers apply universally, regardless of whether the vehicle falls into transport or non-transport category. As discussed earlier in this judgment, the definition of LMV under Section 221 of the Motor Vehicle Act explicitly provides what a transport vehicle means. This court must ensure that neither provisions, i.e. the definition under Section 221 or the second part of Section 3(1), which concerns the necessity for a driving license for a transport vehicle, is reduced to a dead letter of law. Therefore, the emphasis on transport vehicle in the licensing scheme has to be understood only in the context of medium, and heavy vehicles. This harmonious reading also aligns with the objective of the 1994 amendment in section 10.2 to simplify the licensing procedure. The above interpretation also does not defeat the broader twin objective of the Motor Vehicles Act, road safety and ensuring timely compensation and relief for victims of road accident. The aspect of road safety is earlier discussed at length. An authority pronouncement by this court would prevent insurance company from taking a technical plea to defeat a legitimate claim for compensation involving an insured vehicle weighing below 7,500 kgs driven by a person holding a driving license of a light motor vehicle class. In an era where autonomous or driverless vehicles are no longer tales of science fiction and app-based passenger platforms are a modern reality, the licensing regime cannot remain static. The amendments that have been carried out by the Indian legislature may not have dealt with all the possible concerns. As we are informed by the learned Attorney General that a legislative exercise is underway, we hope that a comprehensive amendment to address the statutory lacunas will be made with necessary corrective measures. Then we have to flag one concern. The legislature, through the 1994 amendment in section 10.2e, in order to introduce transport vehicle as a separate class, would not have intended to merge light motor vehicle, which continued as a distinct class, along with medium and heavy vehicles into a single class. Else, it would have given rise to a situation in which Sri, our hypothetical character, wanting to participate in a cycling event, is put through the rigorous training relevant only for multi-sports like triathlon, which requires a much higher degree of endurance and athleticism. The efforts, therefore, should be to ensure that the statute remains practical and workable. Now, harking back to the primary issue and noticing that the core driving skills, as enunciated in the earlier paragraphs, expected to be mastered by all drivers are universal, regardless of whether the vehicle falls into the transport or non-transport category. It is the considered opinion of this court that if gross vehicle weight is within 7,500 kgs, the quintessential common man's driver 3 with LMV license can also drive a transport vehicle. We are able to reach such a conclusion as none of the parties in this case has produced any empirical data to demonstrate that LMV driving license holders driving a transport vehicle is a significant cause for road accidents in India. The additional eligibility criteria as specified in the Motor Vehicles Act and the rules as discussed in this judgment will apply only to such vehicle, medium goods vehicle, medium passenger vehicle, heavy goods vehicle, and heavy passenger vehicle whose gross weight exceeds 7,500 kgs. Our present interpretation on how the licensing regime is to operate for drivers under the statutory scheme is unlikely to compromise the road safety concerns. This will also effectively address the livelihood issues for drivers operating transport vehicles who clock maximum hours behind the wheels in legally operating transport vehicles below 7,500 kg with their LMV driving license. Perforce, Sri must drive responsibly and should have no occasion to be called either a maniac or an idiot, as mentioned in the first paragraph, while he is behind the wheel. Such harmonious interpretation will substantially address the vexed question of law before this court. Our conclusion following the above discussion are as under. A driver holding a license for light motor vehicle class under section 10.2d for vehicles with gross vehicle weight under 7,500 kg is permitted to operate a transport vehicle without needing additional authorization under section 10.2e of the MV Act, specifically for transport vehicle class. For licensing purpose, LMVs and transport vehicles are not entirely separate classes. An overlap exists between the two. The special eligibility requirement will, however, continue to apply for inter alia, e-carts, e-rickshaws, and vehicles carrying hazardous goods. The second part of section 3.1, which emphasizes the necessity of a specific requirement to drive transport vehicle, does not supersede the definition of LMV provided in section 221 of the Motor Vehicles Act. The additional eligibility criteria specified in the MV Act and the MV rules generally for driving transport vehicles would apply only to those intending to operate vehicles with gross vehicle weight exceeding 7,500 kgs, i.e. medium goods vehicle, medium passenger vehicle, heavy goods vehicle, and heavy passenger vehicles. The decision in Mukund Devangan is upheld, but for reasons as explained by us in this judgment. In the absence of any obtrusive omission, the decision is not per incurium, even if certain provisions of the MB Act and MB rules were not considered in the said judgment. The reference is answered in the above terms. The registry is directed to list the matters before the appropriate bench after obtaining direction from the Honorable Chief Justice.
Obliged, Your Honor. Deeply obliged.
Well, we had cut to Supreme Court live feed, and we were expecting the hearing would happen, but then the hearing has not really started as yet. The previous order was on a different issue altogether. It was concerning. It was concerning the light motor vehicle license. Now that that hearing has happened in the past, and today the order was given, but we are expecting the Supreme Court hearing on RG Kaur would resume shortly. Okay. Now we would stay on with this live feed because we're expecting the judges to come back. Minded, it was a three-judge bench headed by Chief Justice of India, uh, D.Y. Chandrachud, who is almost on the finishing leg of he being the Chief Justice of India. So he would be retiring very soon, and I'm not really sure if today would be the last time he would be hearing the matter. But nonetheless, today's hearing is significant. It's significant on multiple grounds. Number one, the Supreme Court in the previous hearing had categorically asked the state government to file an affidavit concerning civic volunteers, how civic volunteers are recruited, how are they paid, what is the criteria of qualification, how are they qualifying for a role of this kind, where all are they being positioned, what kind of role is being given to them, and all of that. And why is it significant? It is significant because the accused Sanjay Roy, accused of rape and murder of the 31-year-old PGT Arjikor medical student, he happened to be uh, he happened to be a civic volunteer. So because he was a civic volunteer, the focus has now come on the civic volunteer as a mass. Now there had been a lot of allegations made against civic volunteer, their conduct, how they are behaving while on duty, as whether they are doing their duties properly, and most importantly, as whether it was right on part of police to have a civic volunteer at Arjikor at the first place. Now, mind it, we have seen in the past as how this element has been deliberated upon, and it was claimed, it was confirmed by the state and also by Kolkata police that this man Sanjay Roy, who was on behalf of the welfare department of the civic volunteer, was essentially assigned with the task of facilitating admission of police officials and their family members in cases of emergency at Arjikor. Now, basically, he was previously with a different department. Thereafter, he was brought into the welfare department, and in the welfare department, his essentially the job was that you oversee the admission process of police officials if they have been brought to this hospital, that is Arjikor Medical College and Hospital, under any situation of emergency. So basically, that was the task assigned to him. That was the task assigned to him. Now, because of that task, he was there at Arjikor Medical College and Hospital. Because of that task, he had access inside Arjikor Medical College and Hospital. Now, how legitimate was his presence at the Arjikor Medical College and Hospital on the intervening night of August, August 9 and August 10, is something which has now been discussed, which has now been questioned, because CBI too in its charge sheet has not been able to confirm as why did he go there, because he had no business per se. If his job is to oversee the admission procedure, admission of Kolkata police officials in situations of emergency, in that case, was there any emergency? Now, we did ask this same question to Kolkata police when the matter was with Kolkata police, all right? Now, Kolkata police said that they were trying to investigate that very aspect. Eventually, the matter had gone to CBI. But in the charge sheet that has been filed by CBI, CBI has clearly stated that CBI has clearly stated that he had gone back. In fact, I would want to refer to the charge sheet. I would request Titash to just cut me off from the frame so that I can just go take my charge sheet, the copy of the charge sheet. Just play some visuals. I'll just go take my charge sheet in less than 20 seconds. So basically, going back to the chart sheet, and I do have the copy of the chart sheet. We have been focusing on the chart sheet quite a lot because while these are charges which have been leveled by CBI against Sanjay Roy, but then they also give you a sense as what possibly happened on the intervening night of August 9 and August 10. Now, if I can just quickly run through that very particular paragraph where CBI has tried giving a complete rundown of what really happened. Now, CBI says that as per their own investigation, what they have figured out, as per CBI, that on 8th of August 2024 in the afternoon, accused Sanjay Roy left from his barrack at 4 Battalion along with his friend, whose name we are withholding, another civic volunteer, on the aforesaid motor vehicle. And then he reached RG Kar Medical College and Hospital for assisting in treatment of police family members, including a name who happened to be the cousin of Sanjay's friend who had accompanied him. So they left for Arjikor and they reached Arjikor Medical College and Hospital. And after that, they left Arjikor Medical College and Hospital, which means the duo, including Sanjay. They left Arjikor Medical College and Hospital and reached Allahabad Bank, Shobha Bazaar, at about 2:45 in the afternoon for depositing money in a particular bank account. Now, as the bank was closed, the money could not be deposited. Thereafter, they bought and consumed liquor. Now, Sanjay Roy came back to the hospital, and his friend went back to the barrack because he too was a civic volunteer. Again, his friend came back to Arjikar Medical College and Hospital at about 10:45 at night on the request of Sanjay Roy. Thereafter, both of them went out of the hospital, consumed liquor, food, and visited Chetla red light area. So imagine Sanjay's presence at Arjikar Medical College and Hospital, while it could be part of the duty in the morning hours, but after the official duty hours, or whether he was in the morning shift or evening shift, still not clear. But so late at night, he called up his friend to Arjikar Medical College and Hospital. Then from there, they went to a red light area in Chetla in South Kolkata. Then they both went inside a house, purchased beer, while his friend went inside a room with a sex worker. But Sanjay only drank beer and did not have sex there. Both of them returned to Arjikar Medical College and Hospital at around 3:20 in the morning. So it is clear that Sanjay had no business to be there. There was no emergency. He was drunk like hell, because he had consumed liquor in the afternoon. Again, he had consumed liquor in the evening. And whether he was drunk like hell or had only consumed one cab doesn't really matter. But on duty, you're not supposed to drink. So it is presumed that because he had gone out and started drinking, having his own life, uh, maybe he was off duty at all, completely. So then he comes back. To Arjikar Medical College and Hospital, and that raises a lot of questions. That as a civic volunteer, how much of unhindered access he had, even when he is not in duty, whether he was coming back to the place of work, and whether that was under check or not, under what supervision the civic volunteers were working. So all of that had been questioned. And in that context, it was questioned as whether civic volunteers, how legitimate are these civic volunteers, how well educated they are, what is the qualification, are they being given jobs because of political favors? Because that's exactly what the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, said, that it should not be like this becomes an avenue, this becomes an avenue of political patronage. Like, you support me and I would give you a job. Essentially, that's what she meant. So, as that has been contested by several lawyers, the Supreme Court then passed an order in the last hearing that the state has to submit an affidavit detailing as what is the criteria of recruitment, how do you recruit these civil volunteers, what is their qualification, and all of that. So yes, obviously we are now waiting for the Supreme Court hearing to begin. Not really sure why they have just finished the previous broadcast coming in as an output from Supreme Court. But then Supreme Court yesterday has clearly said that today this would be the first hearing. The first one was was an order passed on a different matter altogether. So we know, as a matter of fact, the state government has already filed an affidavit in the previous hearing, which was on 15th of October, as the kind of work they have done, as how much they have completed vis-a-vis upgradation of security at medical colleges and hospitals. So all of that was highlighted, and uh, in fact, that was also questioned on behalf of junior doctors as whether the state government is speaking the truth or not. So it was told by the Supreme Court that they can't really discount what has come to them in the form of an affidavit. At max, they can ask someone to just go and check whether all the work has happened or what the state government has claimed, how true it is, whether all of that work has completed. So Supreme Court essentially said they can't really discount the affidavit which has been given to them. The other reason why I find the Supreme Court hearing extremely significant today, because I find it very, very significant because this would be coming just 2 days after Sanjay Roy had issued a statement. Now, on principle, we have not aired Sanjay's statement. We are trying to play those corresponding visuals of Sanjay coming out of the court and then screaming his lungs out, trying to communicate the message to media that was trying to follow him, shadow him. And yeah, that's the video. I will not be playing that video. I will not be playing out what she has actually said. It's against our principle. Until court has actually proven that he is innocent, there is no reason that we should trust him, because the CBI charge sheet, the Kolkata police findings all indicate that he has committed the crime. And if he has committed the crime, I will be the last person to have 0.0000001% of any kind of sympathy or empathy for a man of this kind, because he, if true, has committed a very, very heinous crime. And as I always say, once a woman who was part of this protest had told me, if you're not for a human life, I'm not for your human life. So obviously that has had a big impact in the kind of psyche I possess now. So I'm not willing to give any kind of platform, any space to a man who is accused of such a heinous crime. And because there are telltale signs and evidences also in a way endorsed by two investigating agencies, Kolkata Police and thereafter CBI, I would want to believe the investigating agencies, no matter who says what and what kind of aspersions they want to cast. If more people are involved, I would have similar opinion. And if that's proven, then I would have similar opinion for them as well. But for now, it's only Sanjay who has been identified by two investigating agencies. One, the Kolkata Police, the other one is CBI, and both unequivocally have identified Sanjay Roy as one individual who has committed the heinous crime, the offense. And that's also mentioned in the charge sheet. So obviously, I'm not going to show what she has said. I'm just trying to play those visuals for reference. So when Sanjay was being brought out of Shielda court on a day, the charges were framed just 2 days back, where he had essentially claimed his innocence, also claimed that he is being framed. Okay, he has been framed, and it's bizarre to me, because he's saying that he was under pressure. He was under pressure, that he was intimidated by his department, indicating Kolkata Police, because civic volunteers come under Kolkata Police, that the Sarkar, meaning government, tried to frame him. Well, the point is, he was there in police custody for just 3 days, all right? He was arrested on 10th of August. He was there in Kolkata police custody till 13th of August. On 13th of August, Calcutta High Court gave that order of giving this investigation in the hands of CBI, and that's exactly what happened. So 14th of August onwards, accused Sanjay Roy was there with CBI. So from 14th of August, he was not under Kolkata police anymore. He was not under the state forces anymore. Yet he could not speak before CBI and say what he's now saying. I mean, CBI, it would be very juvenile to think that CBI will not take any action uh, against accused, and it would be equally naive to think that CBI is friend of the state government of Mamata Banerjee, and that CBI will not be taking any action against anyone distantly associated with the state government of Mamata Banerjee. That's very naive to think, because in the past, be it in the case of Sharda chit fund scam, or be it in the case of Naroda, or in that case, for that matter, even in the case of alleged recruitment scam or the recruitment scam, we have seen arrests being made by central agencies, both CBI and Enforcement Directorate, and arrests of leaders, ministers directly connected with state government of Mamata Banerjee, and directly involved with Trinamool Congress. So, if action can be initiated by central agencies against very senior ministers belonging to Trinamool Congress and belonging to Mamata Banerjee government, so in that case, it would be very naive to think that CBI will not be taking any action now, right? So had Sanjay really opened up, maybe CBI would have taken the action then and there. And a mention of that could have been there on the charge sheet as well. But because Sanjay never opened up before CBI, thus it becomes questionable about the timing now when he is choosing to open up. And that too on a day when the charges were framed. Now, trial would begin on 11th of November onwards. So, obviously, anybody wanting to believe Sanjay Roy at this juncture would be their personal choice. But if you use a hat of rationality on your head, you would find it very difficult to believe that Sanjay chose to stay intimidated even under CBI custody, while he is alleging that he has been intimidated by his own department, meaning Kolkata Police. Because CBI doesn't come under Kolkata Police at all right? So Sanjay's claims, even though had found a lot of acceptance in a certain section of people, interestingly, the same section had celebrated, and I'm using that word celebrated because even though they're educated people, they have deliberately propagated the theory of 150 grams, all right? And I think that's a huge disservice to the entire investigation and the quest for justice. Who brought this out? This theory brought this out, we all know. And it's very strange that person is still not being brought to books. I mean, somebody is dead. Somebody has lost her life to a heinous crime like this. And you are trying to project that you are trying to champion the cause of justice. And in the garb of seeking justice, you propagate one fake theory after the other. And they have gone unchecked for way too long. Because, mind you, the post-mortem report of the victim is not meant to come out in open. It is not meant to go out in circulation on WhatsApp. That's against the discipline and against the law. After all, it's a case of rape and murder. So the identity of the victim had to be protected. So those who had all along, the junior doctors who all along had been demanding that everything should be under camera, everything should be transparent, that they should also be given a copy of the post-mortem report. On what grounds? I really want to question this today. On what grounds? Who are they? And if they are such a significant force, then why did they not check the very illogical idea of 150 grams? Because that time, the importance given by a section was given to the idea of gang rape instead of rape, as if the woman has suffered any less. Unfortunately, none of the junior doctors, and I say that very consciously, I've been covering this from day one, at least none of the junior doctors who had been there at the forefront, those 4 or 5, none of them have come out, and they had in a way clarified that, you know what, we have to wait for the investigation. We will not like to believe this 150 grams theory. They had in a way said, oh, now we are hearing the 150 grams theory, and that in a way endorses our apprehension that it cannot be a handiwork of one people, it can be handiwork of many. So obviously, everything today becomes questionable. So now when CBI has filed the charge sheet, okay, Samridhya Bose, a viewer, is writing to us that just saw 2 days back what Sanjay had to say. All I felt was he has been asked to say all these by his lawyer because they know what is happening and what kind of narrative is being pushed by the media. I quite agree with Samridhya Bose. In fact, I will come to that point. But going back to the very idea, going back to the very point as why a section is today celebrating what Sanjay has said, because that in a way gives them further impetus to put forth their apprehensions, their narratives, and we do have proof. In fact, if we have Dr. Kinjan Nanda's soundbite ready, if Titash can confirm me, if we have Dr. Kinjan Nanda's soundbite, I really want to play it. I've got great respect for doctors. I'm not trying to belittle their, their fight, and I'm not trying to belittle the fight of anyone. But to say that this fight has been only and only by the junior doctors, no, absolutely not. I know my friends, I know my family, and I know common people from the streets who I've seen, they have been equally concerned about this case. They also want safety and security of one and all. And without any political prejudice, they have taken to the streets, wanting for a better society, making it a fight against rape. So to think that there are only 4 or 5 people who are the heroes to be worshipped, who are known by the children of Toto riders, and I know I think you know what I'm getting into, because that's another thing which went viral on Facebook. We have been seeing a lot, and I think after these many days, it's important that we question one and all. So we have Kinjan Nanda's bite. After what Sanjay has said, this is what Dr. Kinjan Nanda has said.
আমরা তদন্তকারী দল নই। আমরা আমাদের আন্দোলনের শুরু থেকেই চেয়ে এসেছি জুডিশিয়াল এনকোয়ারি, এবং সেইখানে দেখেছি যে কোর্ট মনিটরিংয়ে সিবিআইকে দায়িত্ব দেওয়া হয়েছে, এবং 3 মাস কেটে যাওয়ার 3 মাস প্রায় হতে চলল, এখনো পর্যন্ত সঞ্জয় রায় ছাড়া কাউকে অ্যারেস্ট করা হয়নি। এবং আমরা প্রত্যেকেই জানি যে এই যে নারকীয় ঘটনা ঘটেছে, সেই ঘটনা কোনো একজনের পক্ষে ঘটানো সম্ভব নয়। তাহলে সিবিআই এতদিন ধরে কি করছে, এবং সিবিআই কেন এই জিনিসটিকে গুরুত্ব সহকারে দেখছেন না, এবং সিবিআই আজকে যে চার্জশিট দেওয়া হয়েছে সেখানে সঞ্জয় রায় ছাড়া আর কারুর নাম নেই কেন, এই বিষয়গুলো আমাদের শুধু নয়, প্রত্যেকটি সাধারণ মানুষকে ভাবাচ্ছে, এবং প্রত্যেকেই ক্ষুব্ধ। আর আজকে যখন সঞ্জয় রায়কে পেশ করা হলো, তিনি বললেন যে তাকে ফাঁসানো হয়েছে। তাহলে তাকে কে ফাঁসিয়েছে, কেন ফাঁসানো হচ্ছে, এই পুরো ঘটনার মোটিভ কি, সেটা দ্রুত সিবিআই এর সামনে আনা উচিত। এবং আমরা গত প্রেস কনফারেন্সে যে প্রশ্নগুলো তুলেছিলাম তদন্ত সম্পর্কিত, সেই প্রশ্নের উত্তরগুলো নিয়ে সিবিআইয়ের উচিত এই সমস্ত কিছুর সমস্যা সমাধান করা। সিবিআই তদন্ত দ্রুত করুক, অভয়া বিচার পাক। আমরা শুধু বিচার নয়, ন্যায় বিচার দাবি করি।
So you heard what Dr. Kinjan Nanda has said. Now, please tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong in questioning him when he says that আমরা সকলে সব প্রথম থেকে জানতাম, we always knew this, that it is not done by one person. It is an admission. To me, it is an admission that I knew everything, that I knew from day one that this is not being done by one person. When you make an admission of this kind, you are basically confirming your knowledge about who else could be involved. So if you know who else are involved in the act of crime, which is rape and murder, why have you been so silent all this while? Why don't you give out names? Go to CBI office. Don't you know the address, Dr. Kinjan Nanda? Don't you know the address of CBI office? I tell you, the address is CGO complex, which is in Salt Lake, very close to Coronamuri, from where you have been taking out your protest rallies very frequently. You have marched to CBI office multiple times. So next time when you march to a CBI office demanding faster justice, please walk into CBI office and give out every details that you know. And I would also want CBI to question him, because when he says that I know, আমরা সবাই জানি, I know, it is an admission that he knows who else are involved. So if he knows who else are involved, then he should be, knowledge of crime is equally equally interesting knowledge of crime. So he knows who has done the crime. So he better goes and gives out everything that he knows. And then he also says, now that Sanjay has said this, who all have tried protecting the real culprits using Sanjay, that should also come out. I mean, one statement coming in from from a rape accused, and you are siding with a rape accused. That's your fight for justice. If tomorrow the court says that Sanjay is guilty and Sanjay has committed this crime, how would you defend yourself, Dr. Kinjal Nanda, that you have sided with a rapist? You have sided with a rapist today. We all have aspirations, and we also know some amount of aspirations of a couple of people, and I'll come to that. Don't you think that I don't know what's cooking? And I'm not specifically hinting at Dr. Kinjal Nanda. I know a couple of things, and I would definitely come to it a little later. Many viewers are asking, when will it start? When will the session start? To be very honest, I don't know. We were told there is a Supreme Court order which came yesterday, and if I could just read it out, it's just a two-worded order, and one second. It just came yesterday. All right. See, so it is the Supreme Court order which came yesterday, and the order is just one line order. List the matter for tomorrow, which is 6th of November 2024, as the first item on board. Okay. So this is the order. See, it is what the Supreme Court has said yesterday. So we have cut to it now because Supreme Court apparently had passed this order yesterday. They list the matter tomorrow, that is 6th of November 2024, as the first item on board, and that's the reason we had cut to it, hoping that the hearing would begin. I don't know really why the hearing hasn't started. The first order which came out, it wasn't concerning RG matter. It was on a different issue altogether. So for now, that's the reason we're just trying to keep you engaged so that we don't cut out from this live broadcast. We know for sure the hearing would happen. It should not be like we finish this live broadcast and then we move on to the second one, which starts in a couple of seconds soon after we end this. So that's the reason I'm not taking a chance. Going back to the charge sheet, and the charge sheet basically documented what Chandra has said and does. The role of civic volunteers would be very, very interesting. There had been many allegations made against the state government as whether recruitment process of the civic volunteers are all in a transparent manner. So basically, after Sanjay went back to RG Medical College and Hospital on 9th of August 2024, as early as 3:20 in the morning, he stayed there while his friend had left, according to CBI. All right. And thereafter, he first went to the first floor of the trauma center building to ascertain about the scheduled operation of one individual, but then he could not find any of the family members of the said individual on the first floor of the trauma care building. And then he went to fourth floor of emergency building, okay, which is a separate building altogether. Now, fourth floor is the same building of the chest department, is the same building where the emergency building is the same building where you have the seminar room on the third floor. So he first went to the fourth floor of the emergency building. Thereafter, he reached third floor of the emergency building, the chest medicine department, at about 4:03 in the morning, okay? And then he entered seminar room where the victim was sleeping alone, all right? Sanjay Roy committed the crime of rape and murder of victim and left third floor at 4:32, which is exactly 29 minutes precisely. He was there for 29 minutes inside the seminar room. He committed the crime and then he left. And this is what CBI is saying, all right? Now, CBI has followed a scientific process to understand Sanjay is the sole culprit. Again, it is not the job of CBI to claim somebody is guilty. CBI as an investigating agency can only arrest and then produce evidences. But then the evidences which you are looking at, they have collected and they have referred to while indicating that Sanjay is the only person who have committed this crime of rape and murder, I have got no reasons not to believe it. And what are the evidences? Evidences like blood on the pair of jeans of Sanjay, all right? Blood on his slippers, which are matched with the victim. The semen was of Sanjay's. The saliva on the body of the victim belonged to Sanjay. And it's all black and white. There is a DNA match. Now, it is too far-fetched for someone to claim that Sanjay had been planted there because the girl knew a lot, and she was murdered, eliminated, and then Sanjay was sent to do what she has done. I mean, it is again far-fetched because the post-mortem report, which has also been independently verified by other hospitals which are not under the state government of Mamata Banerjee, they all confirm the timing of the death. All right, so the timing in a way confirms the match between the time when she died and the time when Sanjay was there inside the seminar room. So because there is a relation between these two facts, you cannot discount Sanjay's involvement in the crime completely. Minded, this okay, the other thing, many people said that she could have been killed before. If you have followed the case from day one, I have done. So I can tell you, if the seminar room is there on the third floor, there are no blind spots. Where all can you find blind spots? The entrance of the seminar room, if there is a direct CCTV camera showing that, no, there is no direct CCTV camera showing the entrance of the seminar room. But the passage leading to the seminar room is covered from all sides. How many directions are there? One coming from the lift, other coming from the stairs. Now, is there a CCTV camera right on the head of the staircase door entering into the lobby or the passage leading to the seminar room? No. But the staircase has CCTV cameras on every landing. So, from the time the friends of the medical student had last spotted her, at around 3 in the morning, there was a doctor who had left. That's again, which is mentioned here, and I can refer to it here in the chart sheet. It is all corroborated through witnesses, and I can quickly run through it. 1 second. See, it says between 12 midnight and 1 in the morning of 9th of August 2024, the victim and 3 other doctors together had dinner, and then they had watched an Olympic javelin throw match. After some time, everyone went to attend their official duties, while the victim remained in the seminar room alone for taking rest. So till 1 o'clock, they were all watching the match. So by the time the others have left, could be 1:15, 1:30. If for the sake of argument you want to believe they had left immediately at 1, fair enough. So from 1 to 4, from 1 to 4:03, which is about 3 hours, somebody has to enter inside the seminar room to kill her. Now, how will that person enter, and from where will that person enter? That person either has to take the same passage leading to the seminar room, or like Shaktiman will have to clap and then go inside. So if somebody in a human form has to take a passage leading to the seminar room, then the passage is covered with a CCTV camera where Sanjay was caught right outside the lift and also the corridor. So somebody taking that very passage will be found going towards the seminar room, entering inside the seminar room. If somebody thought, no, I will not take the conventional route, I will take the staircase stealthily, even then, either you are coming down from some top floors to the third floor or climbing up till the third floor, nonetheless, you would still be caught on the landing of every staircase, because they are under CCTV coverage. So somebody stealthily getting inside the seminar room, it is not really possible, because the person has to take a humanly accessible surface road, a surface passage. It can either be the stairs or the passage coming from the lift and the stairs next to the lift. They were all empty. So there is no visual proof as far as the CCTV cameras are concerned showing someone else, a third person or a fourth person, entering inside the seminar room where the victim was sleeping. So somebody suggesting that the person has been killed and then Sanjay was planted looks very, very far-fetched at this point. And I'm sure, like I as a layman can think on these lines, CBI being a premier investigating agency must have explored every angle wearing their investigative hat, because as an IPS officer, they are very well trained to think differently from the common people in order to crack a case or pursue a case. So going back to the CBI's own findings, CBI has clearly found that there was blood on the pair of jeans of Sanjay and his slippers, and thereafter CBI has also found through their independent investigation, seeking help from CFSL Kolkata, New Delhi, and Chandigarh. Minded, they do not come under the state government, they do not come under Kolkata police, and the findings have certainly proven that the semen belonged to Sanjay, that the saliva on the body of the victim belonged to Sanjay, that the short hair found from the scene of crime belonged to Sanjay, the mobile phone, the headphone, all of them belong to Sanjay. So there are telltale signs. In fact, CBI had also formed a multi-institutional medical board comprising of doctors from different hospitals, including AIMS, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, Lady Hardinge Medical College, VMMC, and Safdarjung Hospital, and Maulana Azad Medical College. They're all in New Delhi. They're not in Kolkata. None of them are in Kolkata. And they have independently found that there is consistency in the reports which have been filed, and that cause of death was due to asphyxia as a combined effect of throttling and smothering, which had been also suggested by Kolkata police as they had arrested Sanjay, that Sanjay had throttled and smothered. And in fact, you can find a report where we have clearly said what we have learned from our sources, and that was a detailed report even before the charge sheet was filed, as whether it was a rape or a gang rape, and also what Sanjay did that night, which is the night of intervening night of August 8 and August 9. So you can go through those reports. They have been widely circulated. They have been received by a larger section of audience, and you can actually go back and watch all those reports if you want. But then again, the CBI charge sheet has only confirmed that Sanjay has committed the crime. So now that Sanjay has made this statement, again, we have to now wait and see whether that gets raked up in Supreme Court and how Supreme Court reacts to it. I personally think to have given that space to Sanjay without any checks and balances, and especially by a section of media, it is like that section of media doesn't want to support the state government. You want to question the government, do it. It's the job of the media to question every government, every leader, every opposition, question everyone and seek accountability. So when you do that, please do that. Not a problem at all. Concern is in the quest of trying to be critical of the government, has there been an overzealousness on part of those Bengali media channels, only compelling them to believe what Sanjay has said as a gospel truth? There lies my problem. There are channels like P-Public, there are channels, other channels which had been spewing this idea that what Sanjay has said has only put the government in the dock. I mean, that's very, very juvenile. You are trying to fool an audience, and I'm sure they are consuming it. They would also believe it, but eventually truth will come out. And when truth comes out, I don't know what you would do with these news reports, because they would be there on the wire, and anybody and everybody would be able to access it. History would remember you that you have sided with a rapist. I have been following this case. The only thing that I'm not sure about, which is still a matter of investigation, if there had been people who have facilitated Sanjay, was there somebody who had specifically informed Sanjay, go there, you would find a female doctor sleeping guardless inside the seminar room? That's where my ambiguity lies. That is still not clear. I'm sure the investigating agencies can confirm it. But having followed the story from day one, and with all what I've learned from investigating agencies, be it Kolkata Police and CBI, having gone through the finer details, and now when you go through the the charge sheet, you have all the reasons to believe that Sanjay has committed this heinous crime, and this heinous crime has been committed by one individual. Again, I say, the crime has been perpetrated possibly by one individual. If there are people who have facilitated the crime, who would be equally liable for, as far as abatement of the crime is concerned, and they should be equally punished. No mercy should be shown to them. But I'm just saying, as far as the crime is concerned, the crime has been committed by one, right? So the crime has been committed by one, and here in this case is Sanjoy. How can you just believe all of a sudden when he says that I am innocent, I am being framed? I think history would remember one and all who have sided with a rapist. To be very honest, history would remember one and all who have sided with the rapist. There are politicians who have made their opinion on social media, and I get the point. They are politicians, opposition leaders. They would not want to side with the government. They would be critical of the government. Fair enough, do that. But then, what is at stake here? At stake is a very, very, very sensitive case on which relies the future of uh, a social fabric, as how we design the social fabric. Because this is not the only crime against women which has been committed in the history of our existence. In fact, after this crime was committed on 9th of August 2024, in less than a month, multiple such cases have happened across the country. It is not specific to Bengal. It is not exclusive to Bengal. And unfortunately, to deviate away from the social issue because of this cacophony of politicians and others. All right, I just got a confirmation. We have to end this live broadcast. I just got a confirmation, viewers. The RG Court hearing would happen at 3 p.m. today. So it's not my fault. I just got confirmation from a Supreme Court lawyer who is there inside the courtroom. It has now been confirmed. The RG Court hearing will happen at 3 p.m. Not now. So it's now been confirmed. So I have tried keeping you engaged. Apologies if you're disappointed, but then it is not my creation. It's a decision of the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court would be hearing the matter at 3 p.m. Somebody has questioned, then how can a single man smother her and kill her? I mean, if I am sleeping, gentlemen, if I'm sleeping, just imagine. I mean, if I'm sleeping, I'm not in my proper senses. In order to be defensive, you need to be in your proper senses, right? In order to fight back, when you are using your hands are being controlled by your brain. Please use your brain. When your brain is numb, when you are sleeping, the victim was sleeping, and it makes me, feel the pain that somebody was killed at a time when she was least prepared to defend herself. She was absolutely defenseless. She was sleeping, her body was calm and numb, and then suddenly somebody tried throttling her like this. I'm sorry for being so graphic. How will a body react? Caught off guard completely. Caught off guard completely. So the body has taken a couple of seconds for the reflexes to work and react to that moment of throttling and smothering. And this man, Sanjoy was a boxer. So to think that he had no strength in him would be again very naive. I would rather request you, gentlemen, with the name username Cookie9, please go back to our reports. Go back to our reports, which you have highlighted in two specific reports. You would find them very, very engaging. Whether you want to believe it or not, secondary, but go through those reports and what Sanjoy did that night, and also whether it's a case of rape or gang rape. Please go through those reports. You would understand a lot of things. So let's not be Sherlock Holmes at this juncture. Let's go by what the investigating agencies are finding. The investigating agencies have found what has been documented in the charge sheet, and you're only referring to the charge sheet. Now, Sanjoy had made a claim. How true is that? Again, we have to wait and see. Interesting fact is, it's going to be very close to 48 hours since he had made that statement. And CBI has not gone to court seeking his custody again, even though there was so much of overzealousness on part of a section of politicians, doctors, who were saying CBI should do this, CBI should do that. CBI has not gone back to court seeking permission to go ahead and interrogate Sanjoy afresh, because he has made a fresh claim They have not even tried going to the court yesterday. They have not gone to the court as yet. They have not visited the jail where Sir Sanjay is incarcerated, because CBI officers are professionals, right? Now, they also know what is the truth and what is not. In fact, Sanjay has spent maximum time in CBI custody and very few days under Kolkata police custody. And I go back to the very moot point. If Sanjay did not open up before CBI and allege, and claim that he was intimidated by his department, I mean, look, Kolkata police has one Kolkata police officer who is the former OC of Tala police station, Abhijit Mondol, has been arrested by CBI. So it is not like CBI is friends with Kolkata police. CBI could have arrested more Kolkata police officers had Sanjay made those allegations, and if the allegations had merit. Why did Sanjay not do it? And to think that Sanjay was possibly given this impression that you would be saved at a later stage. Again, I don't want to give that kind of a benefit to a person accused of such a heinous crime. As an adult, he should know what he has done. And I'm sure he knew what kind of a crime he has committed. And if being caught, he would be arrested and he should be hanged. And that is also in a way mentioned, because while he was leaving the seminar room, and was trying to exit the building, and probably his senses had worked then because he was initially in an inebriated state, he had spotted the CCTV camera and he had then stopped for a microsecond and then wanted to go back, and then again he realized there is no way out. Then he kind of whisked out. That's the CCTV grab. Now, this is the point of entry, okay? This is the point when he had entered. Thereafter, at this very same spot where he was spotted first time, while returning from the seminar room, he realized there is a CCTV camera and he's possibly spotted. He stopped for a couple of seconds to realize it's what to do and escape now. So he turned back, tried going towards the seminar room, but then he realized he realized that that he is possibly caught, and then kind of whisked out. So, okay, one viewer is writing to us, Jay Bhaumik, please stop spreading the narrative that you are motivated to believe. We have seen how CBI performed in the past in various cases in West Bengal. Well, again, you are absolutely right. There are many cases where CBI's investigation is far from any closure. But then again, we also have to go back to the fundamentals as how and under what situation the cases had gone to CBI, and when these cases were handed over to CBI, how much of political noise was around. I'm not trying to insinuate anything, but in Bengal, a lot of things get mired into politics and political cacophony. But yeah, Sandesh Khali still a matter of investigation with CBI. Sharda chit fund scam still with CBI. CBI has not been able to close the case. Narda with CBI, investigation is on. Recruitment scam, investigation is on, is with CBI. So CBI, several cases, for example, Arushi murder case, okay? Arushi murder case. It was with CBI. Yeah, it's true. The case has not really seen a conclusive closure. So when a user says that stop spreading the narrative that you're motivated to believe, I just want to correct this one line, that yeah, it's true that there are many cases where CBI is far from any closure. I'm here motivated to believe. No, I'm not motivated to believe this. I'm only believing this because there are certain things in black and white. You cannot change the post-mortem report. It has been videographed. You cannot change the analysis of the viscera. You cannot change the DNA report. It cannot be manufactured. You cannot change the DNA report of Sanjay's hair. You cannot change that. You cannot change the report which confirms that the blood stains on the pair of jeans of Sanjay actually belong to the victim. You cannot refuse the CCTV footages. You cannot refuse the scene of crime reconstruction of the crime done independently by Kolkata police and also by CBI. You cannot refuse all of that. Now, if the findings of these investigations, which in a way lead you to a black and white conclusion, at this juncture indicate that Sanjay Roy is the person who has committed the crime, I have all the reasons to believe it. All right, I have all the reasons to believe it. If tomorrow court refuses to believe it, I will go back. I will go back to you, and I would then say I would second you, because after all, it's court decides. And you know what the funny thing is? Sanjay had agreed for polygraph test, and polygraph test has happened. Why has Sanjay refused to narco test? You don't want to believe me? You don't want to believe me, right? Mr. Jay Bhomik and other viewers who are trying to question this. Okay, I just want to read out a part of. Okay, it is on page number 21.16.26. Accused Sanjay Roy refused to give consent before the learned magistrate for undergoing narco test. Why? I mean, if that point of time, if he was under intimidation, under pressure, I'm sure he would give a consent to narco test now. Let's all agree here, Mr. Jay Bhomik. Let's all agree here. Let's all agree here. Let Sanjay now give a consent to narco test. If he is claiming that he was under pressure and he was possibly given this idea that he would be rescued, he would be saved, and thus he had stayed quiet all this while, chalo, theek hai, मान लिया, एक moment के लिए मान लिया. But now that you have already made this claim, and because you were under pressure, you had thus refused the narco test. अगर गलती से मुंह से कुछ निकल गया कि मेरे को इस बंदे ने प्रेशराइज किया, कोलकाता पुलिस की ऑफिसर ने प्रेशराइज किया, उस डर के मारे अगर आपने रिफ्यूज किया कि मैं नार्को टेस्ट नहीं करूंगा, चलो मान लिया. अभी तो आपने मुंह खोल के बोल दिया कि you were under pressure from the department and that you have been framed. Now undergo narco test. Now undergo narco test and let that be video recorded. Why is Sanjay refusing narco test? You know why is Sanjay refusing narco test? Because narco test is not exactly like polygraph test. Both have the same objective, to analyze what you're saying is true or not. Your deception, acts of deception would be figured out. But in narco test, the only difference is you are being injected a drug, and that would kind of put you in your sense in a zone where you will not be able to control the truth. Because in order to speak out a lie, you need to be conscious. You cannot be you can be a compulsive liar, but you can't be a natural liar. Okay, you can be a compulsive liar, but you can be a natural liar. In order to lie, you have to use your brain. So what this drug under narco test does, it kind of impairs your brain cells to be overtly active, to decide what is true and what is false, and then choose the false idea to speak out in case you are aiming to lie. And that's the reason narco test is more foolproof than polygraph test. So he has refused narco test for reasons best known to him. But I would be very, very curious. A man who has now claimed that he has been framed, I think he should volunteer now. He should volunteer now that I want to undergo a narco test. मुझे जो drug देना दीजिए, जो पिलाना है पिला दीजिए, जहां पे कुछ मशीन लगाना है लगा दीजिए, सर पे, माथे पे, सीने पे, जहां पे आपको मशीन लगाना है लगा दीजिए, जो सवाल पूछना है पूछ लीजिए, मैं सच कहूंगा, सच के सिवा और कुछ नहीं कहूंगा. Let this Sanjay go through that process and let that be video recorded, and then let that come out. For all those people who have believed Sanjay now, I think that would be the best and the most foolproof, conclusive response. For now, I think I have kept you engaged all this while. It's been over an hour. All our viewers, thank you so much. Please come back to our live broadcast at 3 p.m. I have been requesting this to all our viewers. Please be kind on us. You are trying to consume information from us, whether you like us or not, whether you like my face, you don't like my face, whether you don't like the standpoint I take. But you know what? Where is my confidence? My confidence is in the name of my channel, our channel, News the Truth. And trust you me, tomorrow when the truth comes out, you will come back to us and say that Tamal and team entity, including Titash, Ronnie, Orko, Shoptodeep, everyone. You all have done journalism relying on truth and truth alone. And that's the reason I'm very, very confident. And with that confidence, even if you do not like us, I'm seeking your support. Help us survive, help independent journalism survive, help us grow. The only thing that you have to do is like, share, and subscribe. Ask your friends and family members to subscribe to our channel, because there is a concerted effort to kind of block us, to kind of push us behind the algorithm so that people don't get to see this viewpoint. Many people will not want the common people to hear this basic question that I'm raising, as why is Sanjay refusing an narco test. Those who have their ulterior interest and motive, they would certainly not want someone to raise this question. Now I'm raising this question, thus many people will not want us to be heard or seen. So in order to sideline us, the easy thing to do is watch our content but don't like it. Watch our content, don't engage. Watch our content and don't share. I'm only and only requesting, like, share, and subscribe if you believe in us. Even if you do not like our content, yet share and subscribe and stay connected with us, because that would help us survive. We are not asking for your money. Trust me, I'm not taking any money from any political party, from any government. And I say that very consciously. It's only been a year. There is a procedure to qualify for government ads, be it central, be it any other state, or be it, for that matter, this state of West Bengal. And there is a process. We have not qualified, and that's the reason you will not find any kind of an ad apart from one or two that you have managed to pull in. And we know how we are surviving. All right. So we are overtly dependent on your support, your viewership. Several people have donated to us. Several people have been a member to our channel. But then that's purely your decision. I'm not requesting. I'm not asking for anything but your support. So do connect with us. You will be wanting to watch the stories. You would also want to come back to our stories in the future for references of truth. So help us survive, help us grow. For now, I take your leave, but I'll come back again at 3 o'clock when the hearing happens in the Supreme Court. For now, thank you so much.